Hi, my name is Andrew Palmer, and it gives me great pleasure to present Laura Heuer being interviewed by the inimitable Eileen Lonergan of Elegant Marketplace. Enjoy this chat on productivity, and once you've finished, obviously go along to elegantmarketplace.net, our new learning platform, and have a look at what Laura's doing on the productivity toolset that she's presenting.
Okay, today I am with my longtime friend, Laura, and she is the productivity queen. Laura has done the hard work of sifting through all the productivity tools that are out there and curated the best ones to make you the most efficient and given you an overview on how to get started with each of these. Is it 5, Laura? Different.
There's 5 tools in there.
5 tools. So we want to make you more productive. And hello, Laura. Do you want to give us a quick overview from your point?
Yeah, you know what? I started off as busy mom, making websites, no time, and any tool that would really make the business faster was my kind of tool. Even if it cost money. If it saved me enough time, I was in for it. And over the years, some of these tools don't even exist anymore, and some of them I didn't know how to use, and I use now, and I don't know where I'd be without them. So,
right. And one thing that we were talking about before we actually started filming was that the tools are like running your own web design business is one thing because you could be really good at design or knowing about how to build a website or WordPress or coding, but the business end of things.
Yeah, like sending an invoice and sending a proposal. I mean, you could spend hours on proposals. I spend 2 minutes now on a proposal because it's already done in 17 hats. It'll look like the other proposals, but it's done. And if I want to really specialize it, I can just look it up and honestly then go off that template. So it makes life much better.
Much better. Okay. Yeah. We have a question related to 17 hats and you use 17 hats. Michelle Noonan uses it. Andrew Palmer uses it. So clearly 17 hats is worth talking about. So when you're, like you said, some of the things you used for a while and now they don't even exist anymore, and I know it's almost like a hobby for you, it's your passion to study these productivity tools, what makes one better than the other? Like what makes you say, okay, this one I'm going to commit to, or this one I'm cutting it loose? Do you have any sort of factors?
And it has to work within what I do. It has to work in my workflow.
Okay.
I'm very visual, so a lot of the stuff I do is visual. And if it makes sense and it's really easy, I'm not going to use anything that's like so difficult that I can't master. It just has to work. I mean, it's not my job to, the productivity tools. It's my job to find the productivity tools that make business easier.
Right.
And if it doesn't, I just let it go.
Just let it go. I know. Yeah. I am sort of have a love-hate like with Trello, which I know isn't in your...
It's not. I tried it.
I've tried it a bunch of times and it's kind of tricky. So I know what you mean. It just, if it works for you in your flow, the user interface is huge.
Exactly.
Yeah. So let me ask you, do you use any of these or any of these tools on the go? Or are you pretty much at your desk with your beautiful painting?
Yeah. What I like to do, and it's just me and it's where I am in my life now, I like to keep my business in my office. And then when I'm out and about and I'm with family or I'm bike riding, that's where I am. So, but can I? I mean, if all of a sudden something comes up, I actually can charge somebody on the go with FreshBooks. That's nice.
I
can put a note in my Evernote, like I might get this idea of this will work really well for this person, and put it in Evernote and then have it when I get back to my desk.
Right.
Because it's on the phone. I can do that. I mean, almost all of these tools. I haven't used Canva, but on my phone, but it's probably doable. I don't know.
Right.
Take the picture and then keep it. But yes, FreshBooks you certainly can. Timely app you can. All these other things, so many people, they know they have to be
On the go. Right,
Exactly.
right. Well, I know recently you and I were, the two of us were collaborating on a project and you were in Florida and you gave me some stuff right through Evernote.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there you go. You were on
So
the
you
beach
can.
and I was
Yeah.
stuck here. So it can be done. Okay. So let me see. I'm going into our Ask Me Anything list of questions. So which one of those tools in the 5 that you talk about, the FreshBooks, 17 Hats, Evernote, Timely, and Canva, which one have you used the longest?
FreshBooks the longest.
Okay. So
I used FreshBooks and then I stopped. When I stopped needing reoccurring and I stopped needing certain invoices, and you know how sometimes business goes up, business goes down, you have to do other things, and I had other things to do, but then I started up again. So FreshBooks the longest.
Okay. Is there a reason FreshBooks over QuickBooks? Have you ever looked at QuickBooks online?
Yeah, QuickBooks was a harder learn for me, I guess.
I know there
I
are
didn't find it online. It was before it was online.
Okay.
I haven't looked at it online.
Okay. Well, I use QuickBooks online, and there are definitely some things on there that drive me crazy.
Well, in FreshBooks, you can send reoccurring invoices.
Nice.
I don't know that you can do that with QuickBooks.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So
I don't know.
I set it up and I don't send it out again.
Yeah.
It's just
one and done.
Exactly.
I like that.
Set it and forget it.
Right. Set it and forget it. Okay. So I don't know about Timely. What's going on with Timely? How did that make the cut?
I love Timely.
Okay.
And the reason I started was Timely is I have a client who has 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 different components to it.
Oh.
And the different components are priced differently. Like I charge a different hourly rate for different parts of the project.
Okay.
So Timely app says they're the app to end making your time, or I probably won't remember it if I say it now. It's the app to stop managing your time. I have it here somewhere. But it's what's nice about it is Timely it puts it, Timely tracking app to end time tracking. Basically, I can click on, I started this project. When I'm done, I click it off. It's already set up as in my project is what payment I'm paying them or what the hourly rate is.
Got it.
So that's why I started it. But why I keep it is now I can say I want to schedule an hour for blog posts on Fridays. I want to schedule time for email cleanup on Fridays. And then I color code them. And it's very visual. And then I can move them all around.
Right.
And then, so basically I'm very organized with my time with Timely app.
Well, and then let me ask you a question, because I know sometimes I'll send out an invoice and it's just like 5 hours of work. Mm-hmm. And people will say, well, what'd you do? I'm like, right. I don't really remember. Does Timely, or, I remember, but it's like, what,
Yeah, when you're done with the time, there's a little note section and you just put in the notes, what you did. It takes a few seconds and you have to remember to do it because sometimes I'll forget to do it. But if you remember to do it, then when you download you can download it as a PDF then, and all the notes of what you did are right there.
Oh, right there. And then can you put that into FreshBooks?
I can put the invoice in the FreshBooks and then I can send them a PDF via email.
Oh,
or I don't know if I can attach it. I don't.
Or you could just copy and paste
exactly in the notes. You certainly can.
Wow.
So yes, if that's something that people are asking you, what did you do for those 5 hours? Well, here's what you did. Exactly. To the minute.
Yes. To the minute.
To the minute. I mean, sometimes I'm going, how did you get 3 hours and 23 minutes? I'm like, well, I don't know, but I'll round it if you want me to.
But sometimes you forget, because if you do your billing, a couple weeks later,
and it was a week ago.
Right.
But the other thing about Timely app is, I don't know about you, but I need to look at my financials once a week. I need to look at my emails and really clean them out once a week. So I schedule that on Fridays, and I know it's there, and I know I have to do it, so I don't even bother thinking about it Monday through Thursday. It's kind of like a release. Like, don't worry about any of that.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Do it on that 15-minute on Friday when I scheduled it.
Yeah, exactly. You're good at time blocking. That's another productivity tip.
Oh yeah, time blocking is, and time blocks really nice.
Okay.
Especially for visual people because you can color coordinate.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like a color coordination. That's
Mhm.
awesome. All right, you need to give us the 17 hats and why web designers should jump in.
Well, it's not just web designers. It started as photographers.
Mm.
That's why it started, I guess. And as the story goes, I believe, is the man's wife was the photographer, and she was getting all caught up in the everyday things that you had to do, which makes sense, because you can charge what you can charge, but then you end up doubling your time because then you have to send out invoices, you have to send out emails, you have to make sure they remember everything. And what Timely app does, and what's really good, is you set a workflow and you set up email templates and you set up, how it's going to proceed, and then it works for you. It's really nice. I mean, the idea of, and I mean, there's so many little caveats. Like, somebody calls me and they're like, "Oh, hi, I don't remember I remember their name, but I don't remember what I did." And I just click it into into FreshBooks, and up comes all their information. So then I can get right to their site and know where I'm at. So it
Right.
makes me feel like a little more composed when I get that phone call out of the blue.
I know, because we both have had, been doing this a long time, and clients sometimes resurface after years of being quiet.
Like,
Or you sent out a pitch.
You didn't. Yeah.
Exactly. Or you send out a pitch and, like, for example, I was responding, I answered to two different people, and one was a lawyer in New York, and I thought that I was on the phone with the lawyer from New York, and she was the wedding planner from Toronto.
Oh, no.
I mean,
Yeah. I mean, and 17 hats, I mean, isn't, by all means, it's not like gonna, it's not everything. I mean, there's a calendar in it, but I still like using Timely as opposed to the calendar within Timely app. But it's still, I mean, within FreshBooks.
Yeah.
My goodness. This is why I need to be productive. Within 17 hats.
Yeah.
All the little bits and pieces together, they all work. But they're not like just one dream tool and that's it. At least I haven't found that to be one dream tool and that's it. But I think that 17 hats works for coaches. I think it will work for so many different people. If you have to send out the same thing over and over, the same people, then you've got the templates and the
proposals is huge.
It's nice to check off, okay, the workflow, I got all the information. Then the next thing, set up the core site. The next thing, make sure all the plugins are, you have a workflow and you don't have to worry about thinking what's next.
Right.
It's there.
It's awesome. I love it. Okay, you and I, we are both Canva addicts.
Yeah. I have to set the timer for that one. Like, I wish it had a timer shut off.
Right.
Like, close down in 20 minutes.
Get out of here.
Exactly. Yeah, because I can waste time or spend time on, I mean, just so much on design just because it's fun, it's relaxing, it's kind of like my stress reliever, and Canva is just amazing.
It is amazing. So I love it that you jumpstart into Canva because there are like a lot of layers there that people may not know about. What are you primarily using Canva for?
Well, the last thing I used it for was a flyer. I used it as a flyer for a seminar. I've used it for the sliders a lot of times.
Oh, right. That's great.
It works
really because you can actually set the size.
You can set this custom size.
Right.
Yeah, I used it for a slideshow, which is nice.
Yeah.
But the one thing I don't do is I don't try to make a logo in it. I don't try to create a different, you can take the images and then kind of change them around within their transparencies and their different, tones. But that I might still go back to Photoshop or Illustrator for.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't been able to delete my Adobe suite yet.
Not yet. Okay.
No, not yet.
I hardly use my Adobe anymore.
Okay.
I'm pretty interested in Canva.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
But have you been able to make logos in Canva?
You know what? I don't really make that many logos anyway.
Okay.
And I have Canva for work. So with that, you can download a ping on a transparent background.
Okay.
So that was a big leap for me. And that's why I made the investment to upgrade from the free, because I like things on the transparent background.
And maybe I'll upgrade once I stop the Adobe. I still have one client I can't stop for, but
Right.
that would make sense.
Right. It is hard when you're paying for lots of different things, but the Adobe is fabulous. That has a lot of really spectacular features. That's a whole
if you only had time to learn all that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Learn
Okay.
Canva.
So I have a question here from somebody else. What is your favorite feature in Evernote?
Oh, Evernote. I love so much about Evernote. And Evernote I didn't even start using until somebody actually showed me via a class that I could then go, oh, this makes sense. I love the search tool now, because usually I'll have open like 3 different notes.
Yeah.
And then I'm always searching for, oh no, what was that color or something and you just put it in the search box and up comes the note and you're like, oh, thank you. That was nice and quick.
Nice and quick, easy.
Yes, was that bad? But I also love the desktop extensions where you can then organize your notebooks. But then the web clipper, it's like there's so many things to love about Evernote. It's amazing. I really wish I really started using it when they just started. Then I would have had stuff that I could still be,
right,
finding instead of using my search bar on my computer.
Yeah.
Where is it?
And Evernote has really good apps for the iPad and the iPhone.
Okay, yes. And Evernote, I have it on my phone. I don't have it on an iPad, but it is nice to be out somewhere and then go, oh, I think I need to note take this. Or, I need to know something when I'm on the go, even if it's just a recipe and I need to know the ingredients.
Right.
It's there.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right. So this is another question somebody else said. There's so much out there that's free. When do you say I need to buy 17 hats, it's worth it, or I need to upgrade to Canva work? Like, do you have a sort of a threshold that?
I do. In fact, I used it yesterday. You saw what I sent you, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like me to write that much. Okay? So Focused is a tool that most of the tools out there now give you a free trial.
Okay.
So I tried the free trial.
Mm-hmm.
And when the free trial ends and they don't let me use it anymore, it's like, oh, am I really going to get that amount of money out of it? And if I can easily say yes, then I buy it, because
if you already miss it, like on day 31, you say, I need that back.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I buy it and then I just put it in my business as a business tool. Anything that's going to make me work quicker means I can get more clients. It means I can work better. It means I'm more professional. I mean, I get where some people might want to put aside only a certain amount. And I guess I never fell into that. I was like, this is going to get me out of the office quicker and help me be, a little bit better at what I do, then I do purchase it.
Well, I think this is sort of a note to some people who are maybe just getting started in a freelance kind of position or with their own shop, being a solopreneur.
Mm-hmm.
Making investments on a regular basis, once a quarter, once a month, buying something for your business really gets you in the habit of sort of constructive spending. And like you say, if I do this, am I going to get another client? Am I going to be able to work more or have more time for my family? And as opposed to, oh my gosh, I am like so unorganized and behind, or all my stuff's due to my tax guy and I didn't make any business investments and I have to run, what do I buy?
Mm-hmm.
I think a steady accrual is a good business practice.
It is. And what's amazing is all of these tools, like Canva's free. You can upgrade.
Right.
FreshBooks is, I think, $20 a month. Right. But you have to decide if that's worth it. You know,
Right.
you can try
Right.
it for free.
Right. And
I
Evernote,
free.
yeah,
I did upgrade because I put a lot of PDFs in there.
yeah,
Um, but it's free. So it's
yeah.
not like, I mean, this stuff is 17 hats you do purchase, but you do get to try. And when you try it, if you realize, hey, this is saving me enough time, then you have to decide if it's worth it.
If it's worth it. And how do you feel an investment in these tools make you sort of more professional?
Well, instead of being scattered, I'm kind of there. I'm kind of like 17 hats, a phone call from somebody. I'm there, you know, an email. Somebody asked me, if I send it through 17 hats, I know it's going to be in. I mean, it's just the templates, you look more professional. Same thing with the invoices from FreshBooks. I love that they get to choose. Your client gets to choose how they want to pay. They don't have to pay only PayPal. They can pay Stripe. They can pay by credit card. I mean, it's their choice. And that, I mean, in fact, I received a FreshBook invoice from somebody and went, oh, I think I should be doing that.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, that's what's prompted me to get, FreshBook.
Yeah.
So, I don't, they just little things like if somebody calls and says, I need some work done, it's going to take, and I decide it's going to take me 10 hours to do that, I can easily look on Timely app and go, okay, I got a chunk of time. I can do this, next week.
Right.
So I'm more composed than going, okay, when am I going to squeeze this in? And then try to squeeze it in a day where I'm still too busy, doing somebody else's stuff. Right. And I found that it makes it more relaxing to kind of have a anchor of where you are and what you're doing.
Yeah.
And Canva just makes you more professional just because you can do all those social media things, all of it, and they all look the same, and they look great.
Right. And they look great. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I love that feature, resize. So you make one and then, it converts it to Twitter and Pinterest and all the rest. All right. So in your words, tell us a little bit about the class, what your goal was. I know I said that you curated all these great productivity tools, but tell us what happens in the class that you're offering on Elegant Marketplace.
In the class, what I hope happens is that it just makes other people's business work less in the business, like just not have to work so hard at the little details that, like I said, when somebody showed me how to do Evernote for real, how to do it, it was life-changing. That was life-changing because now I know I have all this information quickly and easily. And it's not just business information, it's personal information. It's the college numbers. It's everything,
Right.
And that's all. I mean, I'm not trying to say I'm an expert at any of these, and it's not like you can't find some of this stuff online for free. But like Timely app, I don't know how I found it or where I found it through, but once I did, it really works. It works really well.
Right.
And we've tried so many other, even Google Calendar. It's just different. It just works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think to your point, there's so much out there and so many learning tools, but to have all of yours in one place as opposed to sifting through, the variation of quality on YouTube that in itself isn't very productive, is it?
No, it's not. And at the end of most of the most of the modules is resources to find even more.
Oh, great.
If all of a sudden you're like, oh, I want to start presenting Evernote, there's resources there to dig even deeper and deeper with it.
Okay.
But we kind of hit on invoicing, graphics, time management, information management, and it's just, those are the kind of things that are really necessary.
Really necessary.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for the class, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. I so appreciate being there.
Oh, good. I appreciate you.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.